Respected members on the dais and in the audience, Dr. Haridas, Mr. Paul Carter, Mr. Richard Barlow, and most importantly, the students here. A very good evening to all of you. I'm associated with MIT in two different ways, and I've known MIT as a school which excels in governance, public policy. I'm talking about the MIT School of Government. So two of the people I work with, one is Hari Kasula, is a faculty with you, and my assistant has studied in this college. So when they called me for this, I immediately accepted because I thought it's going to be on public policy, and I pretty much know what to talk about public policy. Then about 3 days ago, I realized this conference. Firstly, I realized MIT is a large university, multidisciplinary, and a lot of you are engineers here. And this particular conference is about artificial intelligence. And I started becoming nervous. I started watching YouTube videos last 3 nights. I was busy with municipal elections, still results are just coming in. And I started watching YouTube videos. And I'm a reasonably smart person, and I decided there are so many YouTube videos from TED Talks to Singularities, artificial intelligence. So I decided that any video on artificial intelligence more than 3 months old is not worth watching because the things are changing so fast. But then my birthday is next month, and I'll turn 60 years old next month. Now, is it fair that you hear about artificial intelligence from me? Another thing is, today I received an email, and it reads, "Dear student, you are late by 5 weeks on your AI classes." Now, I started taking a course about 2 months ago, about 6 weeks ago on the Finnish government, Helsinki University and the Finland government offers a free course on AI. I did the first 2 lessons and I just ignored. And so I started really getting nervous. What wisdom can I share with you? I'll share what I have done in the past on what today is called the foundation stones for AI, pattern recognition, speech recognitions, algorithms. And it takes me a lot of courage because if I tell that, you'll probably laugh at me. I finished my engineering in 1983. And in I think sometime when I was in 3rd year, our project was a real cutting edge, which no industries have even attempted. We made a small robot which will go forward when you say forward, and when you say stop, it will stop. So it was a very complex project, and we struggled for close to 1 year and finally made this. And that was, now school children do it, and that was speech recognition. Stop, it should recognize stop, and it should say forward. And later in the United States, I went to University of New Jersey Institute, University of Minnesota. We did yet another project in pattern recognition, which was, it sounds complex, but today's, it's child plays for anybody working in even software, not even AI, which is EMG, electromyograph. That is, people with certain muscular dystrophy have a different type of EMG. So we wrote a small program to recognize that pattern. And subsequently, something on fetal ECG, which I thought was the ultimate peak of my academic career, which was, we worked on a project called recognizing fetal ECG. The ECG of a fetus, very hard to find because the mother's fetal ECG is so large, there's so much noise. So we had to write complex algorithm to remove all the noises and extract the fetal ECG. Before that, fetal ECG was an invasive process, very painful invasive process. And we actually did it and patted ourselves on our back. And it was complex algorithms called near orthogonal basis function, curl, divergence, very complex, and I was not the best student of mathematics. So it was even more challenging for me. Then much later on, more recently, there are so many algorithms, one doesn't even have to write algorithms. And that's when I came up, because You have to do a lot of mathematics and things like that to your algorithms. But with AI, you don't need nothing. You just need data. You don't even need clean data. You don't even need data sets. You need dumps of dirty data, good data, bad data, and this one will sift through it, come up with some algorithm. It won't work, come up with another algorithm. If you have taken 1 year to come up with a good algorithm, it'll take 1 day to come up with 1 billion algorithms, and one of them will fit. And therefore, I started talking about what is called as, I thought I was smart, and that was the dumbest way to do things. So this concept of dumb AI. AI is really dumb because it just does brute force of computing and does through shuffle. But the dumb AI is far better than the most intelligent human being. And we, having studied masters and spent almost 20 years in electrical engineering, it's much faster than that. So this dumb AI, so how does it matter if you're dumb or smart? The end result should work, and AI can do it much, much faster. So that is really nothing much to do. Then I entered politics. Then we talked about deep fakes and some of the subjects covered here. And some of the subjects are covered here. And there's a great application of this in politics itself. Typically in India, all over the world, now a lot of things are changing in different parts of the world, but in India we continue to do things. How our policy frameworks fall. It's based on the majority, what's the majority's opinion in the Lok Sabha and the Raj Sabha is. And we really don't know the effects of this policy. Is it good or bad? If we do this to GST, is it good or bad? It seems good. If we do note bandi, remove the 2,000 rupees note from the circulation, is it good or bad? At the surface, it seems good, but if you simulate this on a mathematical model, then you see the results, and then after that, if you introduce in the policy. Similarly, MSP, minimum support price of cotton or rice, should we increase, is it better? Should we decrease, it's better? You actually create mathematical models, and then whatever unleash these policies on the mathematical model rather than us unleashing this policy on the innocent people of India. We don't know the effect of this. So that is an application of AI where we can simulate policies on a mathematical models before you actually discuss in Parliament. But beyond this, I really don't have much to say. But we have a large family. We really have a large family. I have a lot of first cousins and things like that. And we discuss a lot of things, and we have a thing called Family TED Talk where we encourage all the kids to talk. And that's when it struck me. You know, we were very comfortable. We know where we are going. My generation knew where we are going. I'm going to be an electrical engineer. In fact, it was decided not by me. It was decided by my grandfather that I'm going to be an engineer. That's why he named me Vishweshwar after one of the greatest engineers in India. So I knew my path clearly. As long as I don't fail at this thing. But this generation, it can potentially be scary. So let me try to project the future, and let's see how it is. I'll put some assorted facts in front of you, which I'm sure all of you agree. Some assorted facts which are happening in India, and we agree. The human fertility rate in India, that's the average amount of children women have in India since the time of independence to now. That time it was 5.96, and now it is 2.2, the fertility rate of women. Last year it was 2.3. So even 1 year it dropped almost by 1%. 1.1 it dropped by. So that is a fact. And the replacement rate meaning the population being stable, is 2.1. If average Indian woman has a 2.1 number of children average, then the Indian population remains. So we are pretty close to it, and some states have already crossed that. So that is one fact. The other fact, unrelated fact, is renewable energies are growing. Another unrelated fact is electric cars are coming. Third unrelated fact is Manufacturing is being automated. Fourth unrelated point is we are becoming less and less dependent on petroleum. Petroleum industry is going down. We are also becoming less and less dependent on mining, except probably lithium. We are mining less today than before. Construction industry is slowing down. Agriculture, today's the agriculture production is about in India, in many countries it's overtaken, but in India is about 2 or 3, the yield per acre of produce is 3 or 4 times more than what it was during independence times, whether it's rice or vegetables, because of hybrids, fertilizer, better irrigation, our yields have increased. 3D printing is coming, cryptocurrency is there, artificial intelligence. One more important thing is, our generation, if we made money, we'd like to own things, and your generation, you'd like to experience. So you don't particularly like to own a car, you'd like to have the experience of driving a car, and things like that. That's a very big difference in the way of thinking. 3D printers, cryptocurrency is coming, and people are living longer, but most importantly, of course, artificial intelligence is just around the corner. Now, these are 10 or 15 different facts and realities. Now, let's all combine them together, and let's see what will happen to what will our future look like. Sorry, you're college students. I don't want to scare you. What it looks like is you guys are not going to have jobs. You may not have the jobs what you think you will have because the fertility rate is coming down. We hardly need more new construction. And if you don't need new constructions, they're not going to be construction jobs. All the steel you need for construction is already on the surface of the earth. You don't need to go and mine them, so mining industry is not going to give jobs. Electric cars, 2030, we are going to have a lot of electric cars. Electric cars have 7 or 8 moving parts, and the current cars have something like 2,000 moving parts. So, and their life is much longer than the current cars. So, automotive industry is not going to give jobs. Natural language processing, AI, is going to remove jobs from software. In almost every area, jobs are going to reduce, and even somebody just quoted the McKinsey report, I think. About 800 types of jobs, 800 jobs are going to disappear by the time you graduate, or at least they're going to reduce. No need to blame whether prime minister or chief ministers. These technologies are going to make that happen. You are going to lose jobs. But on the other hand, you are going to live in a cleaner world. You are going to be wealthier. You're going to be wealthier than your parents and your grandparents. So the growth will be jobless. And what I've been saying to the skill development ministry is focus not on youth employment, but youth engagement. You're going to be, don't worry about it. You're not going to starve. You're going to be better off that way than our generation. Your jobs are going to be very different in nature. And more importantly, your forefathers, for generations together, had the same career, same vocation. If my great-grandfather or my forefathers were farmers, their children continue to be farmers. Then of course, my father was a lawyer and I'm an engineer. It changed. But you guys, in your lifetime, you're going to change more than 5 or 6 professions. You may be a algorithm writer. You may be an AI developer. Tomorrow you may be a cook. Day after tomorrow you may be a performing artist, and you will change your jobs. So be prepared for it. And how do we really be prepared for that change, where nothing is secure? In the olden days, everybody used to give their birthdays much younger, because job means a government job, and you retire at 58. So if you register your birthday 10 years later, so you can work till 68 till your government retires. But here, if you see what is your security, how do you prepare yourself for the future? In the categories of jobs, McKinsey put there are 7 different types of jobs. One is menial labor. They'll get replaced by robots very, very quickly. Manufacturing, little hand-eye coordination, replaced by replaced by robots. Then you have accountants. You need to use a little brain power, and mathematics will be replaced by computers. Then there are jobs which require human element, um, a receptionist or a psychiatrist or a doctor, which you require human. Those are less likely to be. Astrologer, almost impossible. You can be astrologer. It's a good vocation to go through because astrology is not some computer printout of what your future will be. So various kinds of jobs which are at risk, of course, the labor-oriented, but the more the human content-oriented jobs are going to be lesser and lesser risk. So how are you going to prepare yourself? Number one, the most important thing is to socialize, network, interact more with humans than with machines, what we are doing now, with your cell phones. And that is going to be the differentiating factor, your ability to interact with other humans, which we are losing now. You have to get it back to that. And ability to tell jokes, share jokes, it's come down. I have kids at home, dinner table, I ask them to share a joke. They can't come up with a joke. And so these are the things that are going to be important again. So what are the jobs of the future which are going to be secure? Performing arts, sports, being chefs, being cooks. Yes, a robot can cook, but it won't have that human touch. So expand your horizons, open your minds up. You may be studying engineering, you may be studying liberal arts, but open your minds. But more importantly, you have to learn to interact with humans much more. I don't think no matter how AI develops, nobody would like to see, they would like to see Ronaldo or Gavaskar or Sachin Tendulkar rather than a robot catching a cricket bat and hitting a six. That's no fun at all. So it's the innate, I believe that humans have an innate nature to like and love other human beings. We don't like to watch machines play a guitar. We don't like to watch machines cook. We don't like to watch machines sing. So I think that is the crux of it. And innately, whatever we demonstrate, however we show it, whether it's love, jealousy, companionship, or even some crimes of passion, they are related to one human being's need to be recognized and loved by another human beings. And that is the crux of it. That is the crux of it, because in the videos I saw last evening, I saw some strange videos. AI will solve food problems. AI will find missing children. AI is being used to find missing. Great things AI is doing. AI, someone told, is preventing child photography. But also, the other things, AI going to strip us naked of our privacy. AI is the last innovation of humanity. Will AI enslave? So it's very scary. It can, because in next 10 or 15 years, because of the increase in computing power and quantum computing, which powers AI, is going to be so humongous that AI is going to exceed the combined intelligence of all the human beings on this planet. So it has the potential. So potential to go whichever way. It can harm us, it can help us. But what we can do to protect ourselves is to love one another, because no AI can replace a human being on the emotional content of a human being. And I'm not even talking about spirituality. I'm just talking. And we have heard great words from various cultures. Love conquers all. We heard insaniyat. We heard about how to love one another. And we heard about Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And these is the ancient wisdom of the past, but now it has a total new meaning. It is not spiritual. It, it will help us get jobs where AI challenges us. If we love another, if all human beings, so the tribe is not a caste or community or religion or boundaries of nation, but a caste is what is Vasudeva, love another human being, and you'll retain your jobs. And of course, it's definitely something innate human nature to love one another. And that is the one that's going to protect. Thank you.